Okay, so yesterday we discussed about XML publisher and SQL loader, right? So if you have any query, else we'll start with form personalization, form personalization, all those things we can do.
Yeah, I think yeah. Let's get started. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so this is the document I have for form personalization. That is basically based on 11i, but there is not much difference in 11i and R12 uh, regarding a form personalization only. So let's start with that. Okay, so any idea what exactly we have in a form personalization, and what are, what are the features, or what are the requirement can be to use a form personalization?
Yeah, I think from a seeded form, if we want to disable something or add some actions, special actions, or I mean that kind of stuff which is limited to a limited extent is what I understand is personalization.
Mhm. Okay, yeah. So it is not basically a form. Any form, if we have certain features to be enabled, some features to be disabled, some pop-up needs to be put, or some validation kind of thing, or any special features, special menus if you want to add in a tools bar, that also we can do here. If you want to hide something, enable something, those kind of stuff we can do from without changing the code, we can do directly from form personalization. Okay, so this is high level overview. So let me read this out. With the Oracle EBS suite 11.5.10, the Oracle has introduced a mechanism which reversibilize the way the form can be customized and fulfill the customer needs. So it is started in 11.5.10. For many years, Oracle application has provided a custom library using which the look and behavior of the standard form can be altered, but the custom library modification require extensive work on SQL and PLSQL. In the release 11.5.10, Oracle has provided a simple way to easy features to implement the customer specific requirement without modifying the underlying forms, code, or custom library. Although custom library still can be used for form personalization to implement the complex business logic, the personalization feature provide the latest release is easy, faster, and require minimum development effort. So in overview only we'll get like a few things. It is started in 11.5.10. Earlier we have only custom PLL, those kind of thing to modify this, and for that we need to change the logic of that form. And every time if we are going for upgrade, some patching activities happening, so those changes like we need to maintain those changes once let's say we done in a seeded forms, right? So if code changes after upgrade or after patching, so we need to make the changes again, or we need to uh, make sure like those changes should be there after the upgrade also. So those are the things we need to take care post upgrade or any patching activity. The need, what is the need for this? So most of the customer wish to modify the way of the form looks and behave. They want to change the levels on the form field, hide buttons, amend custom logic, etc. The motives could be the field are unneeded to match the customer specific business requirements, or the match the lingo used by the customer. I don't know like what is lingo. So if you know,
Yeah, yeah. Lingo is basically the language, the slang used by the people. Like,
okay,
yeah.
okay, okay. So language used by the customer. So I think yeah, we can change the language also. Okay. The solution, Oracle application release 11.5.10 has provided a user interface personalization form which will be used to define the personalization rules. The personalization rules establish the custom action to be performed by the forms during runtime. The action may include changing prompts, showing custom messages, prevent the user from doing the transaction, etc. This feature also provides a well-built controlling mechanism which restrict the execution of the personalization rules at different levels, industry, site responsibility and user level. The personalization does not violate the support from Oracle, and these rules are considered with the future upgrade without any additional effort. Okay. So this is a benefit of personalization. It is not violating the Oracle support functionality also. Even then, if you are doing personalization, Oracle will support that personalization or that changes. So what is target audience? The document emphasizes the structured guidance of implementing personalization rule according to the customer requirement. The target
Nitin,
audience is,
Nitin,
yes.
question. So if we have form personalizations and then we do an upgrade, will the form personalizations will stay or?
Yeah, it will stay here. So these rules are considered with the future upgrade without any additional effort, right? It is basically when we are
Okay, so
doing changes. Yes.
hmm, okay, all right.
Okay. So in a custom PLL, well, we are doing changes in a code. So in that also, when we are doing a custom PLL, right? So in that also we need to do some setting by which if any upgrade or any patching activity is happening, even then we need not to do any changes in our after patching. But in some cases, or I don't remember exactly because it's a long time I worked there in custom PLL, and most of the time uh, companies are not using. I've seen a one or two companies which are using here in my experience, which are using forms in a very frequent way. They have all the custom form. They are not using any seeded form. So everything they are doing in a custom form, doing custom PLL, lots of things they are doing. But other than those, I haven't seen much in the IT industry or any other. Okay, so enable or disable the personalization feature. The personalization form should be used to implement the custom rules on a specific form. The specific form refers to the desired form on which you want to apply the custom business logic or modify the form behavior. Okay, so we can enable a personalization feature or we can disable also. By default, it is enabled always, and if you want to disable it, we have some profile option which we need to set as a no, and then the personalization option will be disabled. So to go to the personalization option, we have a menu. In any form, if you go to the menu navigation which is help, go to diagnostic, go to custom code and then personalize. Normally it was set as a normal, but if you go to the personalize, it will open a personalize uh, page, a kind of personalization option, and might be it will ask you backend user ID and password, apps password it will ask. So you need to put apps password and then you will go to the option. So I think I need to check like whether it is asking for apps password or not, but uh, what I'm thinking it will ask because we have two three options there. One is for personalize, one is for diagnostic and examine. So while we are doing examine, I think that time also it is asking or in a personalized it is asking that will check application option is enabled by one, but at the other it is disabled. The can be user is on responsibility navigator. Means the specific form should be open first and invoke the personalization form using the above navigation. Okay. So if you are there in a home page, right, kind of where you are not opening any form, you are in a menu home page and lots of menus are displaying there. So at that time, if you go to the custom code and personalize, you will not find that navigation because the form is not open. So first we need to invoke that form. Once the form is open, because personalization is something working on a form, not on a navigation or then only we will go to the personalized. So for example, if the specific form sales order is taking example, the default the personalization menu is visible to all the user. This can be controlled with the help of profile option by setting of the profile option, the access of the personalized menu can be limited for the authorized user. This will prevent random behavior of the forms. Yeah, so this is a kind of security we can provide by using the profile option. Normally it is available, whosoever is using that particular form can go to the personalize and do the changes as default. But if you want to restrict it, we can have a we have two profile option. One is completely diagnostic, it can say yes and no, and high diagnostic, it can say yes and no. The below picture depicts involving the personalized form on the top of the sales order form. Open the sales order form and click on this. So here you can see this is a sales order form. Okay. So this is a sales order form because now you open the sales order form, you can go to the help, then diagnostic, and another option, examine. Hope you have used this examine option also, where
Yeah.
if you click on examine, you need to give some user ID and password, and then you can get the data, whatever data is saved into that form. You need to give the block name, you need to give the menu name, and then finally you will get the value. So, or if you want to check the last SQL run in that form, you can do that. Last query run, you can do that. All sort of activities. So the second option we are using here is a custom code. Normally it will work based on that particular but if you want to do that personalization, then you need to select the personalization. And here the second option is, if you want to disable the personalization, you can have make it as a off, so it will disable the personalize what you have. Okay. So here the kind of personalization form and what are the different things we have in the personalization form. Now the personalization form automatically queries the function form if any exist of the specific form. So whenever we are invoking any form, and if already a personalization is already there, so it will that form will work based on that particular whatever rules we have set for personalization. The below picture shows the form name is this. This is a form name. Here you can see whenever you are opening a personalization form, you will see on which particular form you are opening a personalization. So this is the form name, OEXOEORD. This is a sales order form. This is short form of that, the code of that. So this is a form name, and this is for user perspective. We gave a name as a sales order. So on which the personalization option is open. So you can see the form name is here and the function name is here. Okay. And here we have options. The first is we need to give a sequence and which kind of personalization we are doing, a little bit of description of that. It doesn't make any difference whatever description you are giving, but the sequence will work on the based on the sequence. Your logic will fire. If 10 sequences there, then first 10, 20, 30, 40. So it will work on the based on sequence. So on which sequence you want your personalization to be worked. Okay, so this is a triggering event on which at what particular event we want to trigger this. So this is when new form instance. Whenever we are opening a new form, then only this particular personalization sequence will work. It can be in a second sequence. It can be when new block instance, when new field instance. So it is a different level of form. When you are seeing new form instance, so it is at form level whenever you are opening a new form. If it is a block level, if you are going in a particular block, because every form has a different block, right? So this is one block, this one is a one block, this is one block. So by this marking, you will understand, okay, this is the kind of blocking we have. Here you can see this is a block. Okay. And here this is a block. So you can understand. And if you want to go with a specific one, you can go to the help, diagnostic and examine, and there you can select the block, and you can select the field, and then you will identify, okay, if you are not identifying by these particular marking, you can go to that examine, and then you will have a clear idea what value is coming in which block, and that particular always help while doing a personalization, because if I'm doing a personalization on particular field, right, so I need to get the exact field name with a colon or something like that. So the one way is to type that. Typing always makes mistake if you are doing a typing, type some code. So always like advisable to use if it is able, if we are able to copy paste somewhere else. So always do that. Idea is to get like a kind of we need to understand the logic and the code written and all those things. We can do a copy paste. That is always beneficial. So when new form instance, and new field instance, so those things we can do because it's a new form instance and we are already in a particular form, so need not to give any target object. But if we are in a particular block, so it will again enable, and you need to give a block name, and in that block what condition, on which condition we want this particular thing to be fired. Okay, this is the relevance of this particular here: trigger event, trigger object, and condition. What is context? Context is a kind of level, on which level we want. You want this to be enabled at a site level, responsibility level, user level, on which event you want this to be fired, right? uh, this is one checkbox: fire in enter query mode. We have one query mode, one enter query mode, and one is view mode, right? F11 and control F11. So on which mode you want this to be fired? If you are checking this, it will only do in an enter query mode, and if you are making it as it is, so it will work in a both the modes. So uh, this is another thing. Okay, by this enabled and disabled button, if later you realize like this particular profile or this particular personalization you don't want, so one way is to delete that, but it's better, always better to disable from here, because this doesn't make any difference. And later if you want this to be enabled, so you have all this code written and you just enable that, so that will work. You need not to write a code or do the personalization again. So disable, enable always work. So the form mainly contains four actions. They have rules, condition, context, and action. The purpose of each section is below. Okay, this is the understand the rules. What are the rules? Rules administered the personalization needs to be implemented on the form. Each rule contains a sequence number and description. As I told you, the rule can be activated or deactivated using the enable checkbox, and the rule can be deleted when no longer needed. So if it is not no longer needed, you know, like in the future also we don't need that, so you can delete it. Otherwise it's better to disable it. For example, a rule can be changed the order number prompt to claim number. So this is one personalization we want, where we want a particular tag to be a field name to be changed from order number to change number, so claim number. The defining rule doesn't identify when the rule should get evaluated or applied. For each rule, there should be a condition attached with the power the execution of the rule. Okay, so this we discussed already in a condition section. Here, these are the condition. Only making a description here will not work. So we need to do some triggering event. We need to give an object and condition. Based on that, it will fire. Okay. Understand the condition. So condition decide the event the rule can to be executed. Each condition mainly contains three sections: trigger event, trigger object, and condition. Trigger event specify the occurrence where the rule should be executed. Trigger object is the object on the form to determine at what level the rule should be executed. The values can be form name, block name, and item name. So when we are already in a the trigger event is on new form instance, so we are not giving any target object or triggering object. But if you want to go with the block name, item name, form name on a particular specific thing, so then we want this trigger object, and it will enable automatically. It is we need not to worry about that, like on which level we want to enable, or we need to give some values. It will enable and make it as a mandatory if it is a mandatory field. Otherwise, it can be optional field as well. Condition in any SQL statement to be control the execution of rule when the mentioned criteria is met. So this is here you can have a new item instance. So which item uh, I want to focus right now is order number, because we are changing the name of order number to claim number. And condition when user is not equal to system. So if it is a system user, other than system user, it will enable, it will work. Okay. Understand the context manage to whom the personalization should apply. This is similar to the concept of user profile option in Oracle application. The various levels are site, responsibility, industry, and user. During runtime, the value provided in the context are evaluated and personalization rules will be applied. Usage of context is very vital in implementing the personalization to prevent the inappropriate user accessing these customization of the form. So this is as in the description it's mentioned, like it is working as a profile option. In a profile option also we are enabling as a different levels. The same way we can enable a personalization also at a different level to make or to restrict or unrestrict at a different level of or particular site level responsibility at user level. Okay, so this is the context, industry, site, uh, responsibility at the user. Okay, so
Yo, what is industry? Is that application?
yeah, it is looks like application industry. At site level is I think or might be industry is a kind of business group level. It's not either operating level, operating unit level, or business group level. At high level, site level is a second thing where we have a different
Yeah,
sites.
industry I understand, site responsible user, but industry is kind of one time. Okay, yeah, no fine.
Industry is a kind of a business group level where we have at high level, if we want let's say Genpact, we have at high level as an organization, right, which is a business group, and in that business group we have a different sites. So if you want to do that in a at site level, so it will work on a particular site only. It will not work on a complete company level.
Right,
In a
right.
company
Okay.
we can have a different offices, right? So that way it is always it's very sometimes it's very confusing, because sometimes these things are similar if you are going a site, business group, operating unit, all these things are different because it changes as per the company structure. So sometimes structure is such a way all these things are in a one, and sometimes structure is so complex, little difference is making a difference words on these, like industry, site, and operating unit, organization. So these two.
Yeah, yeah. I think even department probably can be. Yeah, I think yeah.
Yeah, so department these things because the thing is it is it is the normally we are using organization as a company, right? Somebody is asking which organization you are working, so what we are saying is I'm working in a Wipro, I'm working in a, so that way we are identifying organization. But here in Oracle, what I understand after long is organization is a kind of at a high level, everything can be organization. It can be department is also an organization, your business group is also an organization, your legal entity is also an organization. So organization is a kind of generic term which in Oracle they are using, and what kind of organization that makes a difference, and it based on the classification we are using to make maintain that organization. So when we are creating an organization, right, so we are giving a classification. Okay, this organization belongs to a department, this organization belongs to HR, this organization belongs to IT. So that makes a difference, otherwise uh, all those things are looks like the same.
Yeah, yeah.
This might be a confusion for me because everyone has a different confusion while working. So I got confused a number of times for these terms. Okay, so understand the action. So action decide the exact operation to be performed when the condition and context return true during the runtime. Usually each should be associated with at least one action. Okay, so what is action? Action is after your trigger event, your condition, and your context. When these things return true, then only action will work. If some personalization is not true in any of the condition, then action personalization will not go into action state. Action will work only once these condition will true. We have different levels and we have a particular condition. So what all things we have in action? We can have a property, we can have a message, we can have a bulletin, and special. So these are different actions we have. Each action contains a sequence number, description, and language. Action can be enabled, disabled, or deleted based on the action type selected. The field on the right sector of the action tab will refresh where the action parameter are entered. So this we will see here in the screenshot. So what is action property? Is used to property of the object. The various objects include item, window, block. Actual object name defined in the form should be entered after the selecting object type. Property name is the property to be changed. Value is the new desired value of the property. Okay. So here you can see when you are selecting action, right? So you are making as a sequence 10 and then property. We have a drop down list here where we have four options. One is property, message, bulletin, and special. And now right now I'm using a property. This property will change here, like these options will change from the options here. Right now when we are choosing a property, we have option here: object type, target object, property name, and value. So which particular object we are targeting, and what is the property we are changing, and what is the value we want for that property, right? So here the example what we are making as in a value is welcome to the sales order entry, Mr. User. So this is the value we are making here. So whenever this form will open, so it is changing the property of that particular item. And what is the value it is putting? It is putting a welcome to the sales order entry, Mr. User. That is the timing. If we don't want a property to be changed, we want some message to be pop up. So this is something here when you choose a message. So here you can see a message show or warning or error. These options are there, and you can put a message type. So based on your condition, your context, once you are in a message in action, so that action will work based on whether it's a information warning or it's an error message. So based on that it will work. Okay. Here it's a bulletin. This is very rarely we are using, but this is also a very good feature. The action type bulletin is used to execute the form and AOL API. So this is for some advanced feature. If you want to call a particular, let's say, call a particular site like www.oracle.com. So if you want to call that, so what we can do is we can set as a bulletin, and then here we can use a open URL, fndutilities.open URL. This is kind of API we can use to call a particular we need to give an argument. In argument we can give a parameter which is required to do the particular task. In a fnd utility.open URL we want a URL, so we are giving an argument. In argument we are giving oracle.com. If you want fnd function to execute, so we need to give the parameter which is required to execute for this API. So based on the task or based on the bulletin type we are using, we need to change our arguments. So it is always as per the requirement we are doing a changes, or we are doing some tweaking in while using these types. But the idea is to we have what all option we have in a form personalization. uh, we need to understand that, like every time requirement is changed, or we need to work based on that requirement only. Here raise form trigger failure. So this is something if you want to call or invoke some trigger, so uh, based on that bulletin, so we can use this this particular bulletin type. Action type special. The action type special is used to activate the available special menus on the tool menus. We have in Oracle. Oracle give 45 special menus, so we can use or we can enable those in a tools option. So if you go here and not here, here if you go to tools, then you will, if you enable the particular special option, you will find a different option. If you enable a special one, you can hope we have a screenshot for that. So I will show you that screenshot as well. So Oracle provide 45 special menus under tools menu which can be used for customer based on the requirement. Select the special menu which is not used by the form. Yeah, only we can use those special menus which is not used till now. For one special menu we cannot use multiple times. So every time we can use 45 we can use that particular special menu. Menu level is the prompt which appear to the user tool menu is invoked. Block specific, the block for which the special menu should be activated, and icon name is the .ico file name. This is how we are enabling this. Example menu entry special 4, menu level additional order header information. Enabled in blocks, this is the block on which we want this to be enabled. And icon name flower.ico, that need to check. Okay, so now when we are using this special, so you can see different options are enabled here. Menu entry, which menu we want this. We have always have a list of values, so we can use which one we want to use, like a find customer, special one already getting used, workflow status, pricing engine, request viewer. So 4 we can use right now because it's a blank. Menu level, on which level we want this to be enabled. So here you can see menu level additional order header information, and enabled in block and icon name. Let's check the example for this. It will uh, give a more clarity on a special type action. Validate and test. All the rules and action can be validated and test immediately by clicking on validate and apply now button, navigate or reopen the specific form to observe the result of the personalization. So when we are doing this, right, so we have a button enabled whenever it's needed to validate a particular thing in a message or something in some action, you will see a validate button enabled. So let me see in a previous forms. In the first form, I think it's there. Here you can see when we are doing this, right, in a condition and this, and then here we can validate and we can apply. So validate will check is there any syntax missing or something like that, any syntax problem or any logic problem. So validate to work on that, and once it's validated we can apply it. Okay. So now we can it's having certain scenarios, different scenarios on which the personalization work in different way. So step by step, the example provided the document are executed on the order management sales order form. A screenshot are also provided for the reference. Change the order number label to claim number. So for this, what we need to do? So first we need to go to the diagnostic custom code personalize. Once we done this, we will be there in a personalized form. Enter the sequence number 10 and description this. So we can give a sequence number here. Here you can see this is a sequence number. This is a kind of description we are giving. Change the order number from to claim number, and this is enabled. Here it is form name and this is function name. Whenever we are opening a new form, it should be work on that time only, right? So we are saying when new form instance. So whenever we are opening a new form, it should show in place of order number, it should show claim number. and on which context we want. We want in a particular responsibility, which is order management super user. So whenever we are working on this responsibility, then only this personalization will work. On other responsibility, whether it's order management responsibility, any other, so it will not work because it's based on a particular responsibility only. So here this is level and this is menu value for this particular context, and by this you can validate it and you can apply it. Now enter a property, order number to claim number, language all, and enable yes. Okay, so we can see in screenshot. Let's check that. Here we select, because we are changing a property, we are changing a name of the object, right? So what we are doing is we are having a property as action, language all, irrespective of any language, it should work. And now we need to select a particular item because we are changing an item there, right? Here the target object can be selected by this select by text. So if you click on this, it will open a particular list of objects, and this is a block name and this is a particular item in that block. And if you are not getting a particular thing what should be the target object, so you can always go to the object go to the tools and then examine uh, the diagnostic and then examine, and from there you can get a target object where you have a block name, where you have a field name, and based on that you have a value. So till the time the target object, till the time personalization is not there, or always you will see in that form you will see the value of that particular target object. So whenever you are selecting order as a block, order number as a field, so you will get a value of that. So value would be your order number, which is your whatever value you put in order number, so you will get that value. And what exactly we need to do, we need to change the prompt, so prompt text to be claim number. Okay, so by doing this you can validate it and you can apply now. Choose both the forms and reopen the sales order form. So we need to close the form to make it enabled, and then you can see the order number label should reflect the claim number. So now this is a claim number, this is not an order number going longer. So this is a one kind of personalization of one scenario. This is the second scenario we can see. Warn the user not to enter sales order on Sunday. So open the sales order form. If you open the sales order form, then diagnostic, custom, personalize, everything is same. Here what we are doing is 10 and warn user entering sales order on Sunday. So if user is creating a sales order on Sunday, so it should pop up some message kind of thing. So select a trigger event when new form is traced, because okay, so without checking without entering anything, system should work whenever we are opening a new form on a Sunday. So if user is opening on Sunday, if it is Sunday and user opening that form, so it should pop up because it's a new form instance. It's not on a particular data entry. It should be at the time of opening a form. So enter the condition to trim. We are checking on a sys date and we are checking a day, which day it is. If it is returning as a Sunday, then validate and then evaluate as a true. So here you can see we are on a new form instance. We are at this is the condition. Here you can see we don't have any target object because we are working on a new form instance. Okay, this is our site level, so we need not to give anything. We are not making any context, so it will work for all responsibility, all user. It based on a form. It's not on a particular context. Whenever we are opening any form, whether it's in a particular responsibility, in a different responsibility, it will work in everything, everywhere it will work. So now you can select action tab. In action tab you can give a sequence type, description can be anything, and then enable. So we can see in the screenshot here. So here you can see we can this is not this is just a description, this is nothing else like a no code or something. So type we are typing as a message, and here we are showing as an error, so system will not allow to go further. So message type is error, do not enter the sales order on Sunday. So this is how it will work. So when we are validating apply now and close the form and reopen it again, so now whenever we are opening, it is not letting me open, it is saying do not enter the sales order on Sunday. So this is on new form instance. If it is in a warning, so what it will do is it will ask you okay or cancel. If you okay it, so it will allow you to open. But if because it is error, so it is giving a prompt here and not allowing you to open that form. Okay. This is third example where we are activating a special menu on the sales order header and invoke a custom form when clicked on the special menu. So how we can enable our special menu in a tool option. So open the sales order form, everything is same till opening the personalization. Then give a sequence, whatever description you want to give, which is activate a special menu and invoke a custom form using the special menu. And here we have a new form instance. So whenever we are opening a new form, it should have a special menu enabled. Okay, so in action tab, till here we have everything is same, right? We have context here, we don't have any. We have a trigger event, which is again a new form instance, but only thing we are changing here is action. What all action, different action we have. So we check the property, we check the message, we check the special now. So this is special. So in special, like you can see here, we just type as a special, because a special 17 we are choosing here because this might be not used till now. So we are choosing that, or other might be used somewhere else. So we cannot choose those things. So here this is the menu level. We can give additional order header information. Okay, so go down, validate it, and once you close the form and open it again, you will see this. Check the tools menu after opening the sales order form. There should be an additional menu showing the given prompt. So additional order header information. Okay. Open the personalization form and should it automatically query the existing rule to activate the special menu. Enter the sequence number 20 and description. Invoke custom form using the above special menu. Okay, so now we are choosing special 7. So what we did here is this is 17. Okay. So there's a trigger into special 7 and save the changes. Okay. Let me check this sequence 20. Select the trigger event as special 7. Special 7. Open the personalized form. It should automatically query the existing route to activate the special menu. Existing route to activate this menu. Enter the special 7. It should be special. I don't know. Like it should be special 17, I guess, but showing special 7. So whatever condition we are making here, right? So this is the second condition. This triggering event work based on whatever we put here. So based on the value we are putting here, we are enabling this additional order header information, right? So now we are making this as a condition in a second tab, but I don't know why it is special 7. It should be special 17. Need to check that. And based on this trigger event or this context, now we are changing. Now we have a different action. and the action is we are calling a particular function, a call custom form. So this is based on this particular action. We have a one condition here, and once we apply that condition here, it's kind of recurring kind of thing where we have one output is we are making an input for other condition. So that how it works. So we are making as a type as a bulletin and calling another function within that particular form. So this way also we can use bulletin. In bulletin we have a different option. So that's something whenever we have a kind of requirement where we need to open a particular URL, open a particular function, call a function within a function. So that in that time we need to use a bulletin. Normally in a form personalization the requirement we are mostly getting is based on property and messages. We need to enable a particular message, we need to set a property, we need to disable, we need to uh, hide a particular thing, not to enter a particular field. Those kind of requirement normally we got. So the conclusion is the personalization feature allow the user to change the form behavior. This should be available only to the user who are authorized. Though it is easy and fast to implement, all the customization requirement like normal custom form cannot be implemented. The design time activity like creating new item etc. can be performed, and implementing personalization requires the knowledge or experience of Oracle developer and AOL. On the whole, to the Oracle application customer, the personalization feature in release 11.5.10 offer an easy, fast, and user-friendly method to implement a specific user requirement with less effort. Okay, so this is all about kind of form personalization. So I think this is a very good document, and we might have a different scenarios here in this particular document. The person mainly focused on action, different action, but we might have a condition where we need to have a different triggering event. This is very simple one where person is checking a new form instance and every time a form open and it will work. But based on a particular object, based on a particular block, particular field, then here a target object, choosing a target object, that is something tricky. So let me show you an application something, and then you might get a clear picture. Any question till now, Raj?
Yes, forms pretty much familiar with, but I have one question. So all the personalizations are actually loaded using the fnd load command, right? The LDT files.
Yes, yes.
Um, so when we actually download the LDT file using the fnd load command, sometimes the order of the sequences or the order of the rules is not always in a particular order. So is there any option for the fnd load command to download that rules in a particular, because what we try to do is we try to kind of download from production, download from, and then I use the code compare to do a code review, right? So for that, if the order is different, then it becomes so difficult to really compare two LDT files. So I mean, are you aware of anything, any option in the fnd load command which can download the rules in a particular order? I mean, maybe the order of the rules number or something like that.
Because order, normally we are not facing these issues because we are also using FND load, upload and download. But when we have a sequence, right, we have a 10, 20, 30 sequence.
Uh-huh.
So are you using the same sequence for two conditions, like a two different personalization? In the same form, we have 10, 20, 30, 40, right? So every time if we are downloading it or uploading it, so it should have with a particular sequence number, right?
Yeah, no, that is there, but uh, like for example, how can I explain? So, so the above the sequence, if you look at an LDT file, if do you have a sample LDT file with you?
No, no, I don't, because normally this technical person, they are doing this activity,
Right,
and
right. Okay, yeah,
I'm
that's
not.
fine. Okay.
I will check this. I got your point. You are, what you are saying is might be the technical person, they are aware of this. Nowadays they
Right,
are
so
doing
basically
that.
what happens is it's exactly the same LDT file. Okay, so everything matches by the each of the sequence and all that, but it's just that it's in different order. Like if you get in one LDT file you will get 10, 40, 30 like that, and then in the other one you will get 10, 20, 30, 40. So then when you
Okay.
actually just do a file compare, it will not match exactly because it's not in the correct order. Uh, but
Okay.
everything will be there. So everything will be
Okay.
there, but it's just that it's not in the order. So
Okay, so while uploading the file, let's say you have a two file, right? One with a 10, 40, 30, or 20, and one is 10, 20, 30, 40. So while uploading in a different instance with a different type of file, whether you are getting the same result, is it only
yeah, result
giving
is
you
the same.
download?
The
Okay,
result is the
okay,
same.
good.
Result is same, but it's just that when you actually download and then compare, it's because the file is not exactly the same order.
Mm-hmm.
That's where the file compare becomes difficult. So
Mm-hmm. Got your point, got your point.
yeah,
One second, Raj. One second.
yeah.
Okay, so what I will do is I will check this point. The person who are frequently using this FND load command.
Hmm.
So because FND load command is getting used for different tasks, right? Content program and also. Whenever I've used for this content programs and request book, those kind of activities. This form personalization and all. Because mostly nowadays my work is kind of functional, so not getting those chances. So I will check with the technical person the same thing which you are saying, and if they have any option or they are also facing the same issue on how they are dealing with this, so I will let you know.
Sure.
Here, if you go to the help, diagnostic, examine. So when you go to the examine, a function not available to the responsibility, change responsibility or system this, right? So for that, I told you we have two profile option, right? So let me enable those. Here we'll check the how profile option works. So let me close this form, go to system administrator, go to profile, go to system, select for user method, and profile option is this. Shit.
Your space, I think, or just give personal. Yeah.
So here this is at a user level, so what I will do is I will make it as a yes. Okay, and the second one we have is hide diagnostic, so I think it is already enabled. That's the reason you can see this. This is how you can see here. It's mentioned height diagnostic, right? So we don't have any profile option with the height diagnostic.
Yeah,
One
you
is
have
with the FND,
the next
but
one.
it is, yeah, but it is having a menu entry again, right?
Oh, okay, okay.
Here they, this is,
Yeah, I might have changed or something. Yeah.
yeah, because right now it's at 12.1.2. So might be it will work because we already enabled utility. A
Yeah.
diagnostic option we already seeing there, so I think that is already enabled. Diagnostic examine here. So you can see this is a block is assignment block, and the field which we highlighted, this is the organization name field, and this is the value of that, right? If I want to check for payroll, so let's say I'm going here and I'm going for payroll, right? So payroll name, if I put here, so you will see RBI is a payroll. Okay, so this way you can easily identify which block and which field, and while doing a personalization you just need to do block dot field, and it will identify which object you are targeting, right? So that way you can very well use this. And block, in block we have a different other options. We have environment variable, flex field, profile, select, and here you will also see system. So if you go to system and you have a different other options here, current form, current block, last query, run, last form. So if I want to check like what was the last query which is run, so you can copy here and see what is the last query. So this is the query running behind whenever we are opening this form. So okay, so this is the thing. And here you can go to diagnostic, custom code, and then personalize. So personalize here, you have a form name. This is a function name, and here you can put, let's say 1020. Let me go with a different responsibility. I think we have some profile options should be there. I have enabled for particular responsibility at user level. No, no, somebody deleted that, I think. Okay. Okay, got it, got it. So this should be in a different form actually. This should be a quick pay. It should be here. This cancel query, this is again a profile option. Sometimes form takes so much time, so if you enable this particular option, right, profile option, you always cancel it. Otherwise you need to wait for form to get the data.
Right.
So if you go to diagnostic, custom, and personalize, here you will find this is the different personalization we have. So restrict for RECs. So the requirement is, so So requirement is for RAC payroll. What we are saying is we want RAC is a different payroll, and other than RAC, like RBI, which we checked just now. So those are different payroll. We have at least 30-40 payrolls in organization. So for RAC payroll, we want to do this, and for non-RAC payroll, we want to do this. So this is based on a condition. So what we are saying is, before inserting data, because if we are inserted the data and then we are checking, so that not like fulfilling our requirements. So what we want is, before inserting the data into the system, it should not be committed. Once we enter the data and we push a tab or something like that, on that particular condition or triggering event, we want this condition to be executed, and then it should be not in under query mode. So if you see here in these screenshot, here it is a checkbox in 11.5.10, fire in enter query mode. However, here it is a processing mode. So here you can see not in enter query mode, only in enter query mode, or both. So you can choose option by using a processing mode, right? And this is a condition. How you create this condition is a queue run one dot d action status is equal to unprocessed. So what we are targeting here is, if status is unprocessed, right? So how you will get this particular target object? This is the challenge when we are working in a form personalization. So let me show you this, how we will get this. So queue run one dot d action status. So what we will do is, we will go here, complete, and highlight this option, go to help, diagnostic, examine. Here you can see queue run one d action status, and this is complete. Right now it's complete, it's showing it's complete, but what we are targeting is, it should be unprocessed, then only it will, our condition will fulfill the requirement, right? So this is very easy way to get the block and the functions. So here, and we can also call a function. Let's say if this is the PLC call function, which is a particular logic we have written behind that, and it is asking for 2-3 parameter. So it is asking for assignment ID, date earned, which we are passing in a runtime by using qrun1 assignment ID, qrun date earned. If it is returning 1, so it will fulfill the condition, and then it will check for another end condition. Once, and it is again asking for fnd profile dot value responsibility name. If responsibility name is super user, so it will not work on super user, because super user have all the access. So what we are doing is, we are restricting other than super user, it will fire for all the other responsibilities. So we are checking for not like super user. So once this done, then we have an action. So what action we are doing, we have a warning. Please review the paycheck for accuracy for earning 4+49 taxation and all deduction before processing this payment. So normally what happening is, let's say for a person having a 409 and 401k in their processing, right? So normally the payroll user, what they are doing is, they are not checking these two elements very frequently. They are whatever comes, they are just processing, they are running a quick pay and executing the salary of that employee. And later when it transferred to GL, later they identify, okay, 409 not got processed, 401 not processed with the wrong value. So this was happening very frequently. So what business was asking is, whenever the person is running a quick pay, right? Because in a quick pay, if they are running a payroll run for bulk of employees, then there is no issue. But whenever they are changing for a particular employee, right, after bulk of payroll run, they identify for 1 or 2% the 409 was not attached, and they got a later entry for those employees. So they are doing an entry manually, and then they are running a quick pay. Quick pay is a kind of process which we are running a payroll run for one employee. If we want to run for one employee, we have a quick pay process. So at that time they are not checking the entries completely. So what business is saying is, whenever they are running a quick pay, just give a pop-up message, please check a 409k and 401k entry, 409A and 401k entry before processing this payment. So that way we are just popping up a particular message for user. So that was the idea behind that. Okay, this was the requirement. And the property we are saying is global variable. We are checking this property, like this is the global value, and we are checking for this particular value, q run text processing type, which is this one. This is the one. So to go to the quick pay, here others, and here is a quick pay. Okay, and these are the thing. So whenever, let's say, well, this is I'm in a super user responsibility, so it will not fire. So whenever I'm putting a regular here, right, and trying to save this, system will not allow, because if we are in a super user responsibility, so system will allow. But if you are not in a super user, so while we are saving this, here it's a transaction complete, one record applied and saved. But if you are not, if you are popping up a message, it will give you a kind of warning or error message, so you will not go further without checking those entries. And once it's done, then you can once you put OK in that particular message, system will allow you to go further and do the transaction, right? So one more thing I just want to share here. Okay, so this is trigger event. Sometimes the event which we have here, right? If you check here, you will not find every event here. Few of the event you need to check in a Google, like you can check in a Google or Oracle sites, because here you can see new form, new block, new item, new record, and these different options are also there. But the one we are using is pre-insert. So this is not only based on the list of value given here, you can give other triggering event also, like a pre-insert, post-insert, or other form events are also there. So you can copy paste also here, because most of the time I've seen a consultant or the person, they are confused because this is the LOV. So what they are seeing, showing what they are thinking is we need to choose from these options only, and here we don't have that option which fulfill our requirement. So you can always copy paste also. You can enter additional event name. So they earlier, I think in 11i, they haven't mentioned this note in this particular form, but now they mention note also. You can enter additional event names. So this is one point you need to remember. Okay, so this is all about form personalization, Raj. So if you have any query, you can ask. I'm going to share this document with you, or other document also I have with the different scenarios. So if you got those kind of scenarios, so that will help you, like that document will help you.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Okay, Raj. So I think I'm done with the session. So tomorrow we have off, right? So hope on Tuesday I might not be available. I will inform you in advance before our meeting, but might will not be. I'm
Sure.
available. I'm traveling, so if I reach, I will take a session. Otherwise, we'll take it on Wednesday.
Okay, sure, no problem. Yep.
Okay. Okay,
Okay.
Raj. Okay, Praveen. Thank you so much.